onboarding call, and it's a miserable day. But I'm looking forward to onboarding this guy. Alright, so I was on that call for an hour and a half, which was painful and annoying, but got it out of the way, got everything set up. There were some issues connecting the ad accounts for some reason, and also for some reason he thought that the management fee was all he was spending and he didn't have to spend money towards ad spend, but we walked through that, helped him come over the objections and his feelings towards not wanting to spend that, and so we're giving it a go for a month, just a bit of a trial spend. We'll see how we go, get everything connected over the next few weeks, and now it's just working through the rest of my list for today. What do I setting up different campaigns for different people to call. I got 2 new responses from the cold email campaign, which is awesome. I'm going to check if they checked out the video that I sent through and then give them a ring and see what they think. All right, so I ended up onboarding the new client this morning. However, this afternoon, I kept getting these messages and calls, and I'm working, and I don't like to work with my phone near me, so I keep hearing this buzzing going off, this ringing, and when I'm working, I just like to focus on work. I'm not going to answer calls all the time unless I'm expecting one. And I looked at my phone, and it was all from the client that I onboarded. And he's messaging, he's calling, and he was worried. Well, he talked to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend got all emotionally riled up and was like, well, we need to do some more research, we need to do this, that, and the other. He was already comfortable with this decision. He had already made it. He's wanting to do this for the business, but then the girlfriend got in the way and got in his head and then basically made the decision for him and said, no, we're not doing this right now. Which, honestly, I don't get how some people can be so swayed in the decision of doing things that's better for them. Like, I completely get it. And I literally said to him, like, just be careful that you don't get riled up in the future by making decisions based completely on emotion that are going to take away from the growth of your business and getting to where you want to go. I said something like that to him because I picked up the phone and I just laughed. I'm like, dude, what's going on? I'm a busy man. I was working. What's with all the messages and emails and calls? And then he immediately went back and he was like, oh, completely fine. And then explained it was a girlfriend, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, that's completely fine, because you've always got to be accommodating. Everyone's situation's different. Everyone does certain things, but it just highlighted for me that I want to work with a certain type of people. That's people who are willing to invest in growth, people who understand that it takes money to make money, but are also they want to grow their business massively, and they understand that they need to, say, build a team or invest in ads and do all of these things which contribute to getting the business to where they want to go. Rather than just these businesses who think really small and are very small-minded, like people who view all of this stuff as expenses, like I need to reduce expenses as much as possible. It's like, no, where can I invest my money to get the business to the next level? I'm currently at 2K a month. What do I need? What information do I need? What do I need to invest my money in so that I can get to 5K, 10K? If I'm at 20K, what am I not doing that's stopping me from getting to 50K? 100K a month. That's how I think. That's how I want to work with people. Like, that's who the type of people I want to work with are. And I think I've got to make more of an effort to have more of a higher barrier for people that I work with, simply just because you get a lot of these small clients and they're very demanding and they don't understand it all. I want people who understand it. They get it. They get business. They get how it works building and running a team. They get how it works growing a business and solving for the bottleneck and the thing we're trying to solve and doing X, Y, and Z. Because I love business. I froth over business. As you can tell, if you watch these videos, if you follow the journey, I absolutely love business. And everything that I do is about solving these problems within these businesses to get to the next level. For myself, it's what problem am I facing now that's stopping me from getting there? It's a lead problem. Okay, how do I get more leads in the door? Send emails, run ads. Is my client retention not too good? Okay, focus on product and customer service and having these conversations and constantly improving the service over and over. So all of these different things which you focus on, and those are the people that I want to work with. I'm going to be less about the type of business that I'm going to work with and more the type of people. So whether it is actually some consulting business not just say local businesses, but whether it is, even if it's another agency owner, I think I'm going to niche down on the type of person, not the type of business, because I feel like I can make any business, I can improve any business. If I can see value, I feel like I can, if it's the right business, and I say this with the right person, and like if the economics make sense, if what they charge, how the business is run, if that makes sense, then it's simply just, I'm niching down on the type of person they are. It's like, it's not, is your business the type of business that I work with? Are you the type of person that I want to work with? That's how I want to approach it from now on. I think that's what'll bring me a lot more peace of mind in business and what I'm doing. It'll bring me a lot more growth, because if I'm growing with people who also want to grow, we're aligned mentally and we're doing all the right things, I'm happy to invest more into these businesses and even potentially partner in the future. I can see myself partnering with all these businesses because I have a skill and expertise on the marketing, and especially in the paid ad side of things, and realize that I know more about the marketing side than I realize. It's just about having the right people and having the right people in these right businesses to then implement that. The people who are lacking that. Because so many people out there deliver incredible products. They just don't know how to get it out there. But that's a little tangent that I don't get it. How some people, how these business owners who are in control of their business, they're the predominant, they're not the predominant, they are the decision maker, can let the influence and the opinions of other people around them, I don't care how close they are, they're not in the business, they're not running it for you. Why would you let them stop you from doing something you were already going to do, you were fine with doing, you understood the value, you understood what happened if it didn't work, you understood the risk, and you're going to let someone who doesn't understand the risk, who doesn't understand the full context of the situation, who doesn't understand where you're trying to go with the thinking behind it, and who's approaching this with their own perception of reality, which isn't necessarily 100% aligned with what you're trying to do. I just don't get it. He said to me, he's like, you'll get it one day when, like, I can't remember what he said. He said, oh, she makes all the decisions. And then he's like, you'll get it one day. I'm like, I hope not. Not the way I'll set it up. If I'm in a position in the future, I'm just being like, I'm making the decisions. I know where I'm going. When I've got someone close to me and she's not working with me, because I don't actually want to too much in the business. I just wanted to enjoy life, to do all of these wonderful things. The stress is mine, the business is mine, all of this, and then she can reap all the rewards of that. But I'm not going to let the opinion and the emotions of someone else get in the way of me getting closer to where I want to go. That is number one. That is number one. But that's a little tangent. I spent an hour, I've been so bad with my reading, really, really bad. So for the next week, I'm making a special effort to read every single day, to sit and just read. And not even just read, even just sit and do nothing. But I feel like if I've got a book in front of me, I will open it and just start reading. That's what I did. I sat myself here, looking out over my house, over the beautiful scenery. I'm like, I don't have to read, but I can't do anything else. It's like it's Jerry Seinfeld. 2 hours each day, he forced himself to sit at his desk in his chair. And the rule was he just had to sit there. He had a notebook in front of him, he had a pen. He didn't have to write jokes, but he couldn't do anything else. He could sit there for 2 hours. And what happens when you just sit there and you force yourself to do nothing else? You just do the thing that's at hand. It's like if I sit myself down with just a laptop, nothing else, no phone, no TikTok, no Instagram, no distractions, no YouTube, whatever it is, and just the one thing that you're doing, you're going to do it. Otherwise, you're going to sit there. And if you sit there, that's fine. Say to yourself, it's okay if I just sit here. But you'll find yourself more often than not being drawn to doing what you are trying to do. But while I was reading the book, it's called The Courage to Be Disliked. There were really two quotes that stood out to me more than anything else. And I've written them down, and I want to read them to you. One is about the idea of competition and superiority and inferiority, and that how an inferiority complex comes from the perceived superiority of other people. It's like they have all of this, I do not have it, therefore I feel inferior. But a superiority complex comes from actually a feeling and a sense of inferiority. Because these people who are really loud and they boast about all of these things and they think they're so superior, their boasting is actually representative of their sense of inferiority. Because if they didn't feel inferior, they wouldn't have this need to let everybody know how superior they are and how awesome they are at these things. They'd have confidence in themselves. That's so if you meet someone who has a superiority complex, it often stems from inferiority. And I think that's really interesting. It's just not having the confidence in themselves, in what they're doing. And they're comparing themselves to other people and have this sense of lack. It's like they have something I don't. So therefore, I need to make myself sound as good, if not better than them. So I feel special. But there was a quote, and it's like, it's not about being at and I'm not gonna say it verbatim because what I've written down here doesn't make sense if I just say. I need to explain the context. But it was talking about stop trying to compete with other people. It's in trying to make progress past who one is now that there is value. So the actual quote that I wrote down was trying to make progress past who one is now that there is value. But the sentence before that is important, and it's about stopping competing with other people, because that's where inferiority and superiority comes from. But it's in progressing past who you are now that there is value, that you progress, you get better, you get to where you're wanting to go. Stop looking at all of these other people who are doing what you want to do. Just beat yourself. I don't mean that physically beat yourself. Don't go punching yourself in the face or the other version. Don't be doing that. Don't do that. But just keep looking to progress. Because if you progress, you have that ideal version of yourself that you're working towards, that you can see in your head. Always have one eye on that person. That's what I need to do more of. It's instead of looking at all of these people, what are they doing? Always have one eye. Who do I want to be? Where do I want to be in life? What do I want to have? Who do I want to be with? Who do I want to have around me? What do I want to have done? What am I working towards? That's what I'm working towards. Not all of these other people around me who have this XYZ, because that's where, and I feel it too when I consume too much of this content of people who are where I want to be and they're doing XYZ, you get overwhelmed. You get just like, and for me, I get a sense of like agitation. I need to be there now. I need to do this, that, and the other. And it's good to have that idea of what others are doing, but still keeping one eye on that person who I'm chasing and then progressing on myself. If each day, go to the gym, you read, you consume more knowledge, you get more experience, you speak to more people, then you keep making progress on the person you were yesterday, you will get there. You will get there. So that was an interesting one. And then there was a line in the book, and it was talking about a story of this kid and how he was fixing up his hair before he went out to see his friends. And how he was fixing up his hair in the mirror. Like, my hair probably looks awful right now. I don't care. But he was fixing up his hair in the mirror. And his grandma says to him, she goes, "You're the only one who's worried about how you look." And it's so true. You are the only one worried about how you look. Because every single individual person is only worried about how they look, how they are perceived, what they are doing. They're not worried about everyone else. So if you're really worried about all of this stuff before going out about you, they're not worried about that at all. They're not. You are the only one worried about how you look. And so don't spend all of this energy worrying and spending all this time doing this. Still be put together. I'd like to dress nice when you go out. Be put together. Don't be completely disheveled and all over the place, because no one, I mean, maybe you do, but I don't want to have that perception. Like when I'm around the house and just working, like I'll be in trackies and a jumper and I'll just work. I'm not worried about how I look or anything. However, when I'm leaving the house or if there are people around, like I like to dress nice, and not like just for the sake of dressing nice, but almost I do. Like I like wearing nice clothes. I like wearing nice things. That's just me. But nobody else actually cares. All of their attention is pointed toward themselves. And what's funny, your attention is pointed towards yourself, and you think everyone else is pointing towards you, but it's not. If there were arrows of where everyone's attention was going, majority of the time, every single one's arrows, if you're in public, would be at themselves, and you'd realize nobody gives a fuck. Nobody genuinely cares, and it's so freeing. It is so freeing. It's like, if I didn't want to, I don't need to fix up my hair before leaving. But it's also, fix it up, be nice, be well put together. But don't obsess. Don't chase perfection of you have to be, everything has to be perfect. And it's like, because that's where just overwhelm and anxiety and all of this stuff comes in. It frees you up. It frees you up. But it's been an interesting week. It hasn't been anywhere near as productive or progressive as last week. I need to keep the momentum from last week going though. Keep going. Keep doing the action steps. There's one thing that was made so clear to me this week, is that in your environment is everything. So everything that I should be doing should be curating my environment to all be concentrated and getting me to where I want to go. Call it selfish, call it narcissistic. I'm just focusing on getting myself to where I want to go right now. And anything that's draining my energy elsewhere, unless I am okay with it doing that, I'm not trying to do it. Like, I'm trying to avoid it. I'm not going to spend my time and energy there, because anything that drains your energy and any energy you expend to that thing, you can't spend to getting towards your goals or to where you're wanting to go, to growing my business, to making more money, to speaking more people, all of it. Sorry about the barking if you can hear that. But energy and attention and focus is so precious that it needs to be protected. And so many people fail to realize that. You'll even find, when you focus on it, you'll realize that so many people closest to you as well, they will unknowingly just take it, because they don't know what they're doing. People will take it from you. You need to protect it. And your environment is so important, and people fail to realize that. It is so much easier to change what you are doing if you change your environment. If you try and change something about yourself and you don't change your environment, how can you expect to be as effective, as efficient, as quick with change as if you were just completely change your environment, completely no habits in that location, in the place you are in the people you're with? If you want to change who you are as a person, and say you're known as someone who's quiet, who's shy, and you keep hanging around those same people who you're always really quiet and shy with, and suddenly you walk in, you're really loud, you're bashful, you're confident, you're like, hey, what's going on? You're doing all this stuff. They're gonna go, whoa, what's up? What's wrong with you? What happened what happened here, Jack? What are you doing? However, you take that exact same thing. You're shy, you're quiet, you're reserved, very sort of in the background person. However, you come in loud, confident, very chirpy, very friendly, you try and talk to everyone. However, instead of it being with the people who've known you since you were that shy, quiet, and very reserved person, it's with a completely new group of people. It is going to be so much easier to change, because when you do that, they're just going to think that's you, because they have no context from which to view you through. And so you're not going to get any pushback. You're not getting, whoa, what are you doing? And then you go back into your shell. This is Jack. This is just how he is. This is what he does. It's the same with your environment. If you have habits associated with these places, these things, and these times, the easiest thing you can do is change the environment, change the people you're with, and you'll find a lot of the times you do that, things will change naturally. Because not only are you the 5 friends you will spend the most time with, but you are also your environment. So it's so important. That's why, and my place right now, it's pretty messy, like I've got clothes everywhere. But that's why most of the time I like to keep it pretty neat, my workspace pretty neat, because it's a reflection of yourself. Your environment is a reflection of you. That's also why I want to go to Bali. I want to get out of here. I want to change my location, change my environment, change the people I'm around. And yes, I love my family, but there's still always that energy that gets taken, that focus, that added distraction. Whereas if I'm just with Lucas in Bali, we're just working, same thing, there is no distractions from anything else, we're just focused, then it becomes that much easier to lock in and get to where we're trying to go. But that's sort of my rant for today. Today, I believe it's day 35 on the road to $1 million at 18. I didn't feel like doing today's. I didn't. I've mentioned in some other videos that some days I just don't feel like doing it, but I have done it. And I've showed up every single day, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. Today has been one of those days. I really didn't feel like doing this. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing work. But there's an interesting thing that I thought of, and it sort of hit me. It's like, it is so easy to do the things you're meant to do when you're in the mood to do them. Like when you're in a good mood, you're in an upbeat mood, you're like, I want to exercise. Awesome. If you say to yourself, you're going to exercise every single day, and you exercise every single day when you're feeling good. However, it matters most on that day where you don't feel like exercising, but you do it anyway. It is not enough to only exercise or do the things you're meant to do on the days where you feel like it. It matters most when you don't. And frankly, you've just got to not give a single solitary shit how you feel on that day. There is so much in my life has happened where I'm just like, it doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter the mood, doesn't matter what's happened. Where are you trying to go? Okay, blinders, locked in, go. What are the actions that I need to do to get to where I'm trying to go? And then not worry about anything else. Do I feel like doing it today? Yeah, I don't feel like doing it. What do you want me to do? Like if I'm standing outside of myself and I'm looking at myself going, I don't feel like doing work today. I don't feel like exercising. Am I going to be like, oh no, it's okay, you don't feel like it, you deserve a day off? When there's someone out there who's going to be working, who's going to be getting ahead of where I am, putting in that time, where I'm spent here not feeling like doing work, I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind and I'm slowing down from getting to the person that I want to be. My eye is falling off the person that I want to be. It's like I said earlier, one eye on that ideal me, on that ideal Jack, and always trying to get there. It's like, doesn't matter where my attention focus is, one eye is always on chasing that person, on becoming that person. One eye on the person in the future and the other eye on the person I was yesterday. Am I improving? Cool. How far away from him? I'm so far away from him. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And now I do know, I do realize that if I break down the math and have one eye where I'm trying to go one eye on the guy yesterday, I don't have any eyes left. Flawed analogy, maybe. Do I care? No. But I could keep going. There's so many things which I'm very passionate about. I say passionate about, I could just talk about. And that there's experiences that I've had in life where they have a bit more importance, a bit more of an importance to me with what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. A lot of what I've experienced has shaped how I view things. A lot of the people I've listened to have shaped how I view things. Like the more you hear me talk, the more you watch my things, you realize that a lot of things you'll hear from me, you've probably heard from Hormozy. He's one of the biggest influences that I've had on myself. He's one of the biggest mentors I've had. And yes, I haven't met him. Yes, he's got no clue who I am. But I'd consider him a mentor because he's someone who I've listened to probably more than anyone. All of his podcast episodes, a lot of his YouTube videos, his podcast episodes, on his own podcast, on others, all of it. He's had such a massive influence on me. And call it unhealthy to listen to one person, but I do listen to other people, but again, it's focus, it's attention. If you try and listen to too many things from too many people, you end up consuming none of it. And you'll have zero tangible progress in anything that you're trying to do. So who's in a position I would like to be in? Who has been where I want to go? And who is providing value that I can see if I were to implement would help me get to where I'm trying to go? Hormozy is that person for me. And it'll change. It'll always change as I'm trying to do new things and get to different places. But I'm 18. I'm trying to grow a business. I'm trying to make a shit ton of money. I'm trying to meet really cool people, a lot of like-minded people who are trying to go where I'm trying to go. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. That's what I'm doing in life right now. But that's it for today. I've still got some work to do, got some stuff. I've always got stuff to do. I've always got stuff I want to do. Now, it might sound like I say that begrudgingly, but I've got stuff, I've got, like the stuff that I've got to do, I want to do it. I want to be useful. I get to days where I get distracted and don't do stuff, and I feel like absolute shit. It's like, Jack, what are you doing with yourself? So I really do enjoy doing it. So I'll wrap it up there. It's day 35 on the road to 1 million at 18. And I'll see you tomorrow.